Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Now, we are joined by Arwin, Adam, Chocolate Sane, Eli, 10th Man, Neil, Refracted Curvature, and a whole bunch of people in Discord, so welcome one and all.
I'm in pain.
Oh, well,
Hey, good morning.
go to the doctor.
Good morning.
Afternoon, everyone.
Morning, one and all.
Hello.
You missed the fallacy, Nathan. You missed the fallacy.
We'll come to that after we do housekeeping. Can you put a lid on it for a minute and just remember it?
Oh, I won't forget it.
Okay. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge, that's a horizon, formerly known as Earth curvature?
Negative.
Are we doing this quick? So we can move on? No. None.
No, don't. There's no rush.
No rush.
I'll just say we have an according to some of these globers, we have an atmosphere.
Hold on. Go ahead, Jorge. Sorry, Chocolate.
Black Swan debunked it 2 years ago. No proof of a physical horizon. No, it moves with the weather.
You want to add something? Eferal, or however you say name? Erafazi. Did you have something to add?
What? Can you repeat?
We're asking for evidence of a Earth curve edge horizon.
I'm showing the evidence. I'm not showing the evidence of the curvature.
But that's what that is.
I am.
Do you know
Okay,
what the geometric horizon is supposed to be?
Okay, so I was talking with Nathan, and he didn't seem to agree with the flat Earth map, and this is really hard to, show what my point is with this.
Why is it hard for you to prove a sphere unless you hold a map against it? Just prove your sphere.
Earth curve. Have you not got any evidence of Earth curve?
Okay, so first I need to hear that. Do you guys agree that the flat Earth map is like
There's no such thing.
Guy, are you trying to prove it? Are you trying to prove Earth curves with a flat Earth map? What are you doing?
Trying to burn a straw man by way of a stereotyping fallacy. We covered it about 3 times. He just still wants to burn that straw man.
Continue burning.
Okay, so
Does he realize that this is his flat Earth map? Do you realize that?
I tried that too, Brian. I tried to ask him if it was his claim of a flat Earth now, because he's claiming it. It's not something we're claiming and offering up as some sort of proof that he's pulling apart and refuting. It's his claim of what a flat Earth is. So I asked him if he's a flat Earther, and he was like, no. And it seemed to understand that what he was doing was burning a straw man, but he's done it 4 times since.
okay, so now I just need to know. Can you guys show me what the flat Earth map looks like?
I'll try this for the 3rd time.
Right.
Just try this for the 3rd time. The map is not the terrain. That's called a reification fallacy. I've told you this now more than 3 times.
Okay, so
But why? I don't understand why he's talking about that. I thought he was going to provide you with the proof. Why is talking about what something? What? Why are you talking about anything other than your
Sphere.
globe proof? I don't get it.
Yeah, you're not going to prove what it is
Yeah.
by telling us what it isn't.
Yeah, that makes no
so
sense.
Excuse me, Nathan, please repeat the housekeeping question because he's not even answering that.
Yeah, we know he can't listen. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon formerly known as Earth curve?
so can you answer
This is
how?
your time to shine. This
This is your time to prove Earth a sphere. Yeah. These questions are unanswered. We've been asking them for about 3 years. Now, you're here under the misapprehension that you can prove a sphere. So these questions should be a doddle, right? Any evidence of Earth curve, physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as Earth curve, we debunked it. But maybe you can set us straight, given that you believe Earth's a sphere. There's maths set out for Earth curve. You're not going to claim any of it? Some of it was in your document, by the way.
Yeah, that was the other document. So you haven't read my,
What?
Bro,
observation.
Sorry, dude. When you say I haven't read it, I listened to you. Did you hear me listening to you? I listened to you talk about hemispheres, and then pointed out how you'd beg the question of a sphere. Did you not listen to me refute what you said? You claimed it. I listened to it. Then I ripped it to shreds based on its fallacious logic.
He glued it back together.
It's just like he's in a video game. You get shot in the face and then just respawns.
You didn't.
Bro, when you're asked for proof of Earth, hey, guy, hey, when you're asked for proof of Earth curve, why are you talking about a flat Earth map?
Because
does that mean that
it's important to agree with the flat Earth map, because then we can see how it's impossible to see the Crux constellation at the exact same time when facing south from Australia and South Africa, and it's only possible on a globe Earth. And yeah, that's the point.
And when have you done this? Have you faced south in those locations at the same time?
Okay, so you haven't read my document.
I'm asking a question. Have you done it?
Yes, I have. I was in a live video call with a South African and Australian, and they both proved the direction they were facing by using compasses, and they proved they saw the Crux constellation by using Stellarium app and
in the sky.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I heard you the first time you claimed it. Okay. And how does that exactly prove that we're on a sphere?
Because that's on. Okay, so that's only possible on a sphere.
That's begging the question. So if the Earth's a sphere, then you will move to the south and be hanging off the bottom of a sphere because you've assumed south is the bottom of a sphere, right? Antipodal in the southern hemisphere. Yeah, we definitely already covered this, didn't we? So it's only possible if you assume that that observation is taking place on the bottom of a sphere. So you move towards the horizon, that would be south, and when you get to your location, having moved south, you assume that you're then hanging off the bottom of a ball. Why? Well, because I'm on a ball. That's a begging the question fallacy. I've already covered this.
The first thing you covered, by the way.
Yeah, very first thing I covered. I also told him it was a cardinal sin to beg the question here.
So there's only two options,
can I ask
right?
this man a question? Hello. Sorry. Are you when you say crux, what are you talking about? What is it you're talking about when you say crux?
He's meaning the Southern Cross.
Southern Cross constellation.
Southern Cross is not Sigma Octantis. You don't know what you're talking about, it seems. The Southern Cross can be seen from Texas, North Africa, it can be seen from the Philippines, all kinds of places north of the equator. The Southern Cross is not Sigma Octantis. What you're trying to claim, and you said you did something that I know you didn't do, because I used to live in Australia and I'm from Ireland. I know you didn't do any of these things.
It doesn't matter if he did or he didn't. Hold on, Brian. Hold on. It doesn't matter either way. What does it prove? Well, if I assume that south is antipode from north, then it's only possible on a globe. That's begging the question. You're not proving that when you travel south, you arrive antipode from where you first started. That's just your assumption. Again, I said this the third time. That's you begging the question of a sphere, assuming a sphere in the first instance. You've in no way proved that travelling south means you arrive antipode from your previous location. You haven't proven that. You've assumed it.
Has he done declination? Have you done declination?
Well, I was going to come to that later.
Locations? Okay.
Again, I didn't cover declination. He didn't mention it because it isn't really that relevant. Even if he did or didn't account for declination, which would mean that he's not moving, not pointing in the direction the compass is saying he is, because he's accounted for declination, which immediately screws up the entire claim. But the claim is based on the assumption of antipodal travel. I move south, and when I get there, I'm antipode. That's his assumption.
So you have to prove that...
I don't have to do jack. You fail. You beg the question. You assume antipodal positioning.
You have to show...
You assume antipodal positioning. You failed.
By showing how it works.
I don't have to show jack. Another burden of proof reversal fallacy. I don't have to prove what you have claimed in any way, shape or form after it fails as a claim. I don't have to do jack.
So you just take...
So you failed. This is a begging the question fallacy on steroids. You assume antipodal positioning. You didn't prove it.
Any of you explain how it's possible.
Why? That's a burden of proof reversal fallacy. It's your claim that failed. Suddenly it's up to us to prove how it does work. No. You're thick.
Oh,
You're thick. I've explained a burden of proof reversal fallacy to him, and he still thinks it's our responsibility to explain his claim when it fails. No, it isn't.
Which of my claims have failed?
All of them.
Everyone.
How? Because they use fallacious logic.
Oh, my God.
For this one, for example, this is the fourth attempt. To assume the very... That's 2 words I got out before you interrupted me. So, when you assume the very premise that you are trying to prove with your example, and then detailing how showing the thing that is claimed to prove the assumption is proving the assumption, that's called an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. If Earth a sphere, then star rotation in whatever way you describe. I've done it on a video call, star rotation, therefore Earth's a sphere. If P, Earth a sphere, then Q, star rotation as described and videotaped. Q, star rotation as videotaped, therefore Earth a sphere. That's a fallacy. Maybe you'd like to ask me again how I've ripped your stupid, shitty claim to pieces. Go on, ask me again.
So okay, so I have to explain this one more time. So, don't interrupt me. So,
I will do what the fuck I like. This is my show. When you beg the question, I will absolutely interrupt you, and I'll rip your head off for doing so.
So, my claim was that when you are facing south from Australia and South Africa, you cannot see the same constellation.
We heard. We heard. Sorry, we heard all this.
So David Weiss told me that you will explain me how that works on a flat Earth.
Oh, did he now? I don't give a crap what David Weiss said for me on my behalf.
Okay, so
take it up with Dave. Take it up with Dave.
How we observed the Crux constellation at the exact same time from Australia and South Africa. Then I will win the 3 bitcoins. If you cannot explain
Brian.
how the hell that
I'll
works
try this with you, Brian,
Earth.
last time. He's already explained it. We've already heard it. We listened, and I explained how it is a begging the question, affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. He hasn't acknowledged it. He's just started rinsing and repeating. You've been shot in the face and respawned by any chance? I've already explained how this is fallacious. You've assumed the very thing you're trying to prove. Now you're saying that I've got to explain it. G+, for the love of Jesus Christ.
Okay, so if you can't explain how it works on flat
I didn't
Earth,
make it as a claim. I don't need to.
Yes, you need to.
Oh, do I? I must adhere to your burden of proof reversal fallacy, must I? No, I don't have to. I haven't claimed it.
He must prove his claim first, Nathan.
Yeah,
that's first.
That's
he
correct.
Must prove that first.
Yes, do you not
understand? To refute?
Yes, that's right. You have the burden of proof. It's your claim. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to justify it on some model I don't hold up. You are wrong. You don't understand how to debate.
Claim.
You're an idiot. Sorry, my friend. You are stupid. You don't understand the rules of engagement when it comes to debate. Your premise has been flawed from the outset. It's been proven so, demonstrated so, and detailed so by me. Yet you seem to think you need to repeat it again like I haven't listened to it. You seem to think that because you've been told by Dave Weiss that I'm going to explain your stupid shit, that I'm going to. I'm not. That is not how debate works. Just because you've offered some stupid shitty claim that's failed doesn't mean I suddenly have to get into explaining it.
So nobody can explain me how this works on flat Earth.
Sorry, that's an argument from silence fallacy. Another fallacy. My God, it just every second word out of your mouth is a fallacy.
Okay.
So no one can explain it because it hasn't been explained to date. Argument from silence. G plus are getting really irritating. Raising my blood pressure when I'm trying to control this dick interrupting me constantly. Argument from silence fallacy. Just because it hasn't been explained doesn't mean there's no explanation for it. I'm not going to be explaining it. I've not offered it up as a claim.
We're hungry.
Okay, so you admit you cannot explain this.
So he's just going to do the same argument from silence fallacy for a second time. Rinse and repeat. Been shot in the face again. Time to respawn. Completely ignore the gunshot wound.
So, okay. So
tell me again that I'm not, that nobody can, blah, blah, blah. Go on, try it for a third time.
Why aren't you answering the housekeeping question?
Yeah, I know. Where's Earth Curve?
Okay, and now you just changed the subject.
It's housekeeping. We've asked these questions for about 3 years. And I said to you already, given that we've already refuted your claims and pointed out where they're fallacious, we're moving on to asking questions pertinent to your religious faith in a sphere that only so far has had fallacy to back it. No proof. None.
Hey, the winner of this discussion is not the one who's yelling louder. It's the one who
points out their winning argument with proof that can be backed with evidence, as opposed to the one that presents a load of fallacy and then has to have it explained over and over and over again, and then claims that I've not listened and starts repeating the same thing that's been detailed and pulled apart with details of how it's a fallacy. That's not me. That's not me raising my voice because I need to shout at you to win. It's me raising my voice because you're a fuckwit. And every time I explain how your logic is flawed, you tell me I haven't listened and just repeat the same exact logic. You're stupid.
Do you think I don't have evidence of what I'm claiming?
I know you don't.
What the fuck? I have evidence. I have the whole screen recording of the whole thing.
Go ahead then.
No, you don't. That assumed. Sorry, your video. Is he going to claim his video about these stars again when I've pointed out that he's assuming antipodal positioning? Is he just going to talk through me, pointing out where this argument failed again? You're just going to talk through me, pointing out how it failed? Maybe if you talk through me, pointing out how it failed, you don't have to accept that it failed.
That's exactly it. He's not accepting it.
So you don't believe that we
Not belief. I pointed out where your logic was flawed.
How?
Oh my God.
Told you.
He doesn't realise. Sorry.
You assumed antipodal positioning with the use of Hema what now? I'm pretty sure we've done this twice. Hema what now? Hello? Hemi begging the question now. Hemi assuming my outcome now. When they move to that Hemi begging the question fallacy. So tell me we haven't covered it and I just don't accept it. It's a belief. You stupid clown.
Okay, so you can't explain this to me.
So what, I've got to now explain it because you've reversed the burden of proof? I'm pretty sure that we've explained this before. We're back to you reversing the burden. Your claim failed, so now I've got to explain it, have I?
I have all the needed proof for.
No, you haven't. I've just debunked it. You haven't proven antipodal positioning. You've assumed it, and then made an observation of what the stars do. You've then affirmed the consequent. If P, then Q, Q, therefore P. I've gone through this several times with you. I know it's painful. I know you don't want to believe that your so wonderfully laid out little proof seers of a globe couldn't possibly be flawed. You can't quite believe it, can you? They are deeply flawed. And old. And old. And old. Why are you interrupting me while I point out how crap your arguments are? Is it painful? Do you think that by talking through me telling you how crap your arguments are, that's going to stop them being crap and old? We defeated every single... Yeah, I am still berating your crap arguments. That's right. You do definitely need to interrupt me. It is definitely very painful when I tell you in no uncertain terms that your old crap arguments were all refuted more than 7 years ago. Some of them by me personally. 7 years ago.
Yeah, this is like a throwback.
Your crap arguments prove nothing. How do you think it's possible that I can rattle off the exact fallacy that you've used with details and your example intact, with the fallacy surrounding it, with details of the fallacy and how you've used it, without even pausing for breath? It's because I've been doing this for 7 years with the same old crap arguments that you're presenting, my friend. We haven't got yet into the perspective hijacking of your other claim, have we?
Nathan, can you open the document I've sent you DM?
Sorry, was it one with antipodal star positioning?
It was the one where...
Is that a yes? You stuttering, stammering fool? Was it a yes, the one with antipodal star positioning assumed in the example?
I'm not sure what you mean by...
I mean, when you assume that when you travel south, you'll be hanging off the bottom of the sphere that you assume because you've moved south. Not because you've proved a sphere, because you've decided that when you arrive south, you are hanging off the bottom of a sphere in the what now? Sorry, do we need to go to this text document because somehow having it on screen will somehow mean that the antipodal assumption isn't intact in your begging the question, affirming the consequent, formal logical fallacy? Will the document resolve that problem because you haven't refuted it?
Okay, so can you go to...
So can you possibly address what I've just said about the antipodal assumption? Can you address that, rather than telling me to do something?
Okay. So, can you go...
you seem to be asking me if I can do something again. No, address the antipodal assumption in the document you want to go to. Address that assumption, please.
Okay. I'm not sure what you mean.
You mean you don't know how to address the fact that you've begged the question and assumed that you've got a hemi what now? A hemi what now? Oh, the thing you're trying to prove, assumed intact in the example itself.
Hemisphere.
Yeah, that would be your assumption. You're begging the question fallacy. That's right. That's how your argument failed. Because you weren't proving that hemisphere, you were assuming it.
I'm saying that when you are on south, I'm not saying when you are on southern hemisphere.
Oh, I see. So when we're in the south, we're looking at stars. How does this prove a sphere then?
That proves the sphere because that's only possible on a sphere.
Only possible when you beg the question of a sphere. So I move south, I'm still looking up, the ground's still beneath my feet. But if I assume that my former position is antipode from where I was, then it proves a sphere. So by way of an antecedent consequent relationship, or by way of an if P then Q, Q therefore P relationship. That would be an affirming the consequent fallacy. Yeah, your dumbfounded silence is because you don't understand your own failure, in spite of it being explained to you on several occasions.
Let me ask you...
No, don't ask me anything. Just offer up your next globe proof, see? Preferably the one with perspective hijacking.
If we now assume that...
No, let's not assume anything.
How...
Let's not assume anything.
I'm bugging that
Why?
you were asked for proof of Earth curve and you keep pointing at things in the sky. Is the Earth curve in the sky?
We asked ages ago for proof of Earth curve. Where's your proof of Earth curve?
Yeah, that's your time to shine, like 10th Man said. Shine on. Earth curve. Proof, please.
Okay. Why are you trying to change the
Why are we
subject.
asking you for proof of Earth curve, which is what you're here to prove? Why that?
I'm proving here the spherical shape of the Earth, and
No, you're not. You got
proving
destroyed.
anything.
I showed you that
You're
it's
not
only
proving
possible.
anything.
But you were pointing at things in the sky. Where's the Earth curve? Is that in the sky?
Quick shout out to Godzilla37 who says, they're so confident in chat, yet that 3 Bitcoin remains unclaimed. It's almost like not one baller can prove their faith is real. Oh, and hi, Andres Ace. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla37.
When he first came on, Brian, when he first came on, he asked how many people were here. He was real keen on that. He wanted to make sure the house was full. Now he's been getting destroyed since 8:30 in the morning, and he's coming back with the same thing. It's frustrating.
Yeah, but that argument was taken apart in 2016, tore apart, and this is even before all the fallacy and all the information we have now. That's 6 years ago. It turned up in 2015.
Guys,
it was taken apart.
do you know why I came
Excuse
here?
me, I'm speaking.
Yeah. What's
Excuse me.
happening, Brian, is the moment you point out how crap and useless and failed his argument is, he starts talking through you. Because it's less painful if he doesn't have to hear you say it. Right? Do you want to talk through him?
Yeah.
Pointing out how crap your argument is, yeah? Need to talk through that so it's less painful. Go ahead, Brian.
Here.
No, that means shut up.
Yeah,
that means shut up.
Yeah.
That means shut up. It means tolerate Brian telling you how crap your argument is, how long ago it was debunked.
Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, it was debunked 6 years ago. It turned up 7 years ago, and it was destroyed 6 years ago because it was proven that when you take magnetic declination into account, and it's only a globe Earth maths problem based on globe Earth maths, right? That's all it is. But when you take real world magnetic declination into account, it completely destroys the claim because Sydney and Johannesburg are over 2,000 miles further apart. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's talking about the Southern Cross when he should be talking. He should be talking about Sigma Octantis and not the Southern Cross. He doesn't even know the claim he's making. I know his claim better than him. You are an absolute imbecile, my man. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're lying when you say that you did. He's lying at him, and he's
yeah. I know. I think both me and you picked up on what his claim was. He appears to be confirming his model within a computer model of his model.
Exactly.
Okay, he's not done it in reality. He's took it to Stellarium. Now, the people may have been physically located in the cities that you set up the Stellarium, but that's not really even using reality to uphold your fallacy, is it? You're using the model to confirm the model. So,
Adam, what you're
that checks out.
Adam, what you're saying is his globe only exists in the app.
Yeah, you stole my line.
I had to.
Yeah, he lives in a sphere.
You knew it was coming, right?
Okay, let's do a few more housekeeping questions if we're not going to get an answer.
We didn't have to take into account the magnetic declination because...
Yeah, but you did have to assume antipodal positioning, you stupid little boy. You assumed antipodal positioning. Now shut up. We debunked this bloody ages ago. Don't detail the crap argument again.
Okay. No, he just admitted why. He just admitted, Nathan, why he has this argument. Because he didn't take magnetic declination into account. That was the point back in 2016. And that's why they all shut up about it in 2016. If you're taking that into account, it destroys his claim.
Magnetic
so you didn't take it into account. You did not take it into account. Because we know from 6 years ago that it destroys the claim. Because people more educated than you came at us with this claim. People who weren't saying the Southern Cross. Shut the fuck up and speaking. People who weren't saying the Southern Cross, who were saying Sigma Octantis, not the Southern Cross. They actually knew their claim. And then they shut up about it when magnetic declination came into account. You did not take it into account. You just admitted that you didn't take it into account. So you admit the reason that you are even here with the claim is because you made a point of not verifying whether the claim was true or false.
You clearly don't understand the point.
That's an ad hominem attack. Ad hominem fallacy. He doesn't understand.
He literally just detailed it to you, but he doesn't understand. Continue.
So, all I'm asking, how is this possible on flat Earth?
Yeah,
And
you
if
keep
you cannot-
using this bloody fallacy of burden of proof reversal. Inspire me telling
Okay,
you on
but
multiple
if you
occasions
have-
not to demand that your failed proof has to be justified by us. It doesn't.
win this challenge. Don't
Sorry,
you
why are you
understand
talking through
this?
me? You've just used that fallacy again. Burden of proof reversal fallacy. You stupid boy.
Okay, so
Not okay. Stop telling me that I've got to explain your failed proof.
because you can't explain how this.
So, now it's down to the argument from silence fallacy again. Rinse and repeat, gets shot in the face, respawns, and it's, oh, well, no one can explain it then. Because we haven't accepted your burden of proof reversal fallacy does not automatically mean this can't be explained. That's an argument from silence fallacy.
Okay, so
Not okay! You've used it 3 times! It's getting irritating.
so you're saying this can't
No, I'm not saying that.
flat Earth.
Don't say what I have said. Put it in quotes. What was the actual words I used? Put it in quote. Say Nathan Oakley quote, then say the words I actually said, then put end quote at the end. Go.
Okay, you said something like,
Not something like. Put quotes round it, make it specific and accurate.
I don't remember.
Oh, don't you? Then don't quote me. Don't tell me what I'm saying then. Don't say you say that when you don't know. Like you don't know what experiment is, you don't know what a hypothesis is, and you don't know what begging the question is. Don't tell me what I say. If you're going to tell me what I say, you'll damn well quote me correctly, verbatim, with quote marks around me. Clear?
Can you come up with...
I vaguely remember that you said something about liking children. I can't quite remember.
What?
I can't quite remember. You said something about liking children. I can't quite remember. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can do it too. But it gets extremely frustrating for the person who's on the other end of it when you haven't put a quote round it and said the words I actually said verbatim when you make up a little story about what you think I've said. Don't do that again.
Okay, so...
Not okay. Absolute outrage. Do not claim I've said something unless you're going to put quote marks around it. Not okay.
All right.
Not all right. An absolute outrage. I won't make up crap that you haven't said. Yeah?
So, if you can't explain
how...
Another argument from silence starts immediately with an argument from silence. If you can't explain... So what? The burden of proof reversal fallacy failure is going to be backed up by another argument from silence fallacy for the 4th time.
Okay, can anyone in here explain how we saw the crux at the exact
Did
same
anybody
time
claim it?
when facing
Sorry, did
south
anybody
from
claim it?
South Africa?
Sorry, did anybody claim it? Oh, you did, didn't you?
We observed it.
Oh, sorry, you claimed it. It failed, and now anybody else just throwing it out there, just vaguely clutching at straws with this burden of proof reversal fallacy for the 5th time.
You're just
I'll tell you
yelling
how you
because
looked
you
up.
can't answer my question.
Don't demand I answer anything. How dare you? No, you won't be making demands here, you pathetic little twat.
So you admit that...
You will not be making demands here. What you have done is laid down a few claims, and then they've proceeded to been ripped apart by flat earthers. That's what's happened. You won't be demanding anything. You can offer up another claim if you like. As for what I'll be doing, I'll worry about that. You, on the other hand, can offer up another little globe proofsy from 2015 if you want.
Okay, can anyone here...
Don't throw out the burden of proof reversal fallacy for the 6th time!
Okay,
Clown.
can I talk now?
Any evidence of earth curves?
Is there any way you could actually prove the question that was asked to you, which is there any proof of Earth curve, aka your geometric horizon? Can you do that, or we're just going to keep looking at the sky?
It's got to be the longest we're stuck at this question, by the way.
Yes,
I mean, you could just say you can't prove Earth curve. You could just say that.
This
because
is now
obviously you
very
can't.
much
We've been
off
here.
topic,
I've been
but
here
yes,
for
we can
40
see
minutes
how-
now. You haven't said
Okay.
anything about the actual Earth curve,
So,
which is what you're here to prove, right?
This is off topic, but yes, we can observe.
Off topic?
how-
It's a
What?
flat earth debate. Off topic? Are you having a laugh? We're asking him for Earth
the
curve, and he's
topic-
telling me it's off
the
topic.
The original topic was that crux observation from South Africa. And
yeah, then we pointed out your antipodal assumption. Now we're moving on. Yeah, we know. We definitely know. You don't need to repeat it again. We know.
And you didn't
And we
answer
covered it.
how that worked on
Yeah, we covered it, and now you're back to, oh my God, 7th attempt at a burden of proof reversal fallacy. Oh my God.
Why don't you be quiet and just try to answer some of the housekeeping questions? The first one is horizon, Earth curve. Any evidence?
Can I ask him a quick question about his claim? Are you claiming that somebody in Australia or South Africa or South America can see the same stars, the same southern, as you're claiming Southern Cross, every night at the same time?
Yes.
That's incorrect. The original claim was only about a specific time of the year, and it was a mathematical claim that didn't take magnetic declination into account. You don't even know your own claim. I know your claim better than you. I could argue your claim here better than you. You don't have any clue about what you're claiming. You haven't taken the necessary steps to include everything within it for reality, number two. And number three, you used stellarium. You didn't even use the sky. I know that you were never in Australia. I know you were never there. I used to live there. I know from where you're talking, you were never there.
I have been in Australia.
I doubt it. You're a liar. You don't even know. You're in here telling us about a claim. I'm a flat earther, and I can make your claim and your argument to other flat earthers better than you by 100 times. You don't know what you're talking about. It's not even supposed to be the Southern Cross. You're not even supposed to be claiming the Southern Cross. You don't know your own claim. It's pathetic.
So, do you believe that we observed the Southern Cross at the exact same time?
No, I know you didn't.
Who cares?
I know that you didn't.
Who cares? Who cares?
What? Did you say you know I didn't?
Sorry, it makes no difference, because regardless of what you've observed, unless you assume antipodal positioning, it's about the 6th, 7th, 8th time I've covered this with you, it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove anything unless you assume that one position is antipode from the other.
Okay, so do you want to save the flat Earth theory and
not theory?
Explain me?
What defines theory? Define it. My God, he's there again, using his scientific vernacular that he doesn't know. Theory?
Okay, can you...
flat Earth theory? Which one was that? Do you want to put some quotes around the flat Earth theory that I talked about? Which one was that I claimed? Is this another stereotyping fallacy with a misapprehension about what theory is? It seems so.
So you all believe the Earth...
Stereotyping fallacy. We all believe, do we? I knew a globe believer that murdered people. Yeah, he talked about Earth being a sphere in one of his documentary interviews on the telly. And he believed in a globe. Therefore, you are all murderers. Right? That perfectly reasonable stereotyping fallacy that we all believe. Right?
Isn't that right?
Sorry, isn't it right that we all believe what you're about to stereotype us with? No, definitely not. It's a fallacy.
Oh, my.
Oh, my God, I can't believe I can't pigeonhole them with this claim I need to burn. I can't believe how terrible... Can't you just claim this thing that I need to burn so I can burn it? Oh, my God.
Why is this so hard for you?
Why is it so hard? You're like a little teenager.
So, why... So, you know...
Are you going to stop stuttering and answer where we get Earth curve from? Proof of Earth curve. You've been asked about 20 minutes ago.
So that it makes sense. I will win this Bitcoin challenge. If you can't explain our observation on flat Earth.
Sorry, you think the Bitcoin... Sorry, you misunderstand the Bitcoin challenge. It's to prove a sphere, not debunk a flat Earth. So you fundamentally don't even understand the challenge.
If I debunk...
You don't debunk flat Earth to win Bitcoin. You prove a sphere. You don't even understand the stupid challenge.
Yes, I do. One globe proof.
Yeah! So you think debunking a flat Earth is a globe proof?
No.
No, you stupid retard! Fundamentally, you don't even understand the challenge.
Listen, this is a globe...
You stupid boy. You literally don't even understand what you're here to win the challenge with.
I guess you're right, John.
What a retard.
He's avoided Earth curve. The only
Yes.
thing you claimed was an elevation angle. Could it happen on a curved baseline? And he avoided that.
That's correct. He avoided that. Nathan hit him with that, and he did not even want to answer it. He went to his back to his stupid experiment that it's not an experiment. That was funny. You should listen to that.
The whole thing is that he thinks that explanations.
Okay,
he thinks that explanations are proof. Explanations are just stories, bud. Unless you have any evidence of it, you're telling me a lullaby.
I have evidence of my claims that.
Show us the curvature.
Of looking
Show
at the
us the
sky.
curvature then.
All right.
Okay, have you
Looking at the
seen?
sky, bro.
Well, how did you prove
I don't know.
antipodal? Okay, he's just said he's got proof of his claims. One of his claims.
Okay, so
One of his claims was antipodal positioning. How'd you prove that?
prove what? Can you?
Your claim of
repeat?
antipodal positioning, hemi what now? The begging the question fallacy of a sphere assumed in the first instance. How do you prove antipodal positioning?
I don't know what that means. So antipodal positioning.
That means you live on a sphere.
Yes, you live on a ball.
You're an amateur. You really think you're getting Bitcoin?
Yeah, if you can't explain my observation by the flat Earth.
You want a story. You want a story.
Yeah, he needs a new story. Hey man, my story of a globe failed completely and is backed up by fallacy. Now you've got to give me a new story so I can pull that apart. No, we're not offering that here. It's also not part of the Bitcoin challenge. I've just explained that and it, with an exasperated tone, explained in no uncertain terms that you don't even understand what the challenge is. Then you parroted out one globe proof. Yeah, that's the challenge. So debunking a flat Earth in your mind with a straw man that you burnt, that's not going to win you Bitcoin. Do you understand that now?
If this observation can't be explained.
So maybe if you tell me again that if this observation can't be explained on a flat Earth by way of argument from silence fallacy, if we don't take up your burden of proof reversal fallacy, that will somehow win you Bitcoin. No, it won't. You're an idiot.
You sound very stupid.
He is stupid.
Is that observation of Earth curve?
Yeah, Earth curve, please.
Could I explain something to him?
Okay, so
hold on, my friend.
If I tell you,
hold on.
Okay.
I could give you a story about Narnia. Does that make Narnia real?
You don't even know what Narnia is.
That's exactly our point. You want a story. You want an explanation. I could explain Narnia. It doesn't make Narnia real.
But if
What?
you...
Can you prove Earth curve without looking up in the sky? Even though that's not proof either. Earth curve.
If I tell you the boats disappear bottom first when zoomed in, you'll just say that there's some kind of horizon ramp, and that blocks the sides to the bottom parts of the boat. And so no, I can't prove you the curvature of the Earth.
Why not? It's in your presentation. What are you talking about? Why is it in your presentation then?
That's the other presentation. You still haven't taken a look at my...
No, man, I'll just take the win. No worries. You can't prove Earth curve.
Yes, I can, because...
Okay, go on then.
You'll claim it.
Okay, go on.
Claim it to be... You will.
Don't tell me what I will do. Stop. Why is it that this asshole has decided that he's going to divine my thoughts and tell me what I'm going to do?
How do you?
You're going to be going after some kids after this, right?
How do you?
You're going to be out after some kids after this, aren't you? I mean, I'm just divining your thoughts. I'm just deciding what you're going to do. Right? Yeah, don't do that again. Don't tell me what I'm going to do. Just tell me your proof of Earth curve.
So much.
Just tell me your proof of Earth curve.
The most obvious proof of Earth curve is, of course, the ships disappearing bottom first. Okay, and you will claim probably.
Don't tell me what I will claim.
I said probably.
Don't tell me what I'll probably claim. Just tell me how bottom-up obstruction proves that we've got a Earth curve horizon. My God. Don't tell me what I'm going to... Hello? Do not tell me what I'm going to assume. Don't tell me what I'm going to say. Tell me what you are claiming proves Earth curve. So far, we've got bottom-up obstruction at the horizon of boats. Correct?
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
And how does that prove Earth curve?
They are, going over the curve, and that is blocking the sides, the bottom.
Really? You think boats are falling over an edge, right? You've got boats falling over this edge, right? That correct?
No, they are not falling over anything.
You just said they're going over an edge. That's what you said. They're going over an edge. Don't you like my terminology? Does it embarrass you when you've just described a boat falling over a physical geometric sphere edge horizon we debunked in 2020?
Yeah, that's what it is. He's embarrassed.
Can I ask a question? Just quick. Bro,
go on,
is this really happening?
This is really happening.
Yes, this is happening.
We debunked the horizon as Earth curve. So if the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every distance to horizon measurement, that would be the point you think blocks boats and buildings, the horizon, could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And we have imagery that shows it beyond the limitations of a geometric sphere edge, blocking things. So the image is dubbed the Black Swan, where the horizon at the limitations of the geometry you've just claimed would be before 2 oil rigs at 1.2 miles, whereas it's beyond 2 oil rigs at 10 miles. Ergo, it's not a physical limitation to block the oil rigs, it's behind them.
On normal weather conditions,
weather conditions, we're talking about geometric sphere edges, not weather. Geometric sphere edge horizon. Earth curve. It's a physical thing. Hello? Geometry. Your Earth curve's a geometric limitation, not an optical weather-based limitation. Boats aren't going over weather. You said they were going over Earth curve. We've debunked that.
Yes.
Yeah, we've debunked that. Because if the Earth was a sphere radius 3959, then the distance to horizon measurement could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And we've showed that it's in excess of that by a massive, massive factor. Earth curve wasn't blocking these boats and buildings. It was behind them, proving it's not a physical Earth curve limitation.
Okay, so...
Not okay. Just the end of your claim. You said it blocks boats and buildings. We can show it doesn't. It moves.
Okay, can you explain me?
No. You've claimed you've got an Earth curve edge horizon. I'm not going to be explaining what the horizon is. You claim boats go over an edge. You've got your boats falling over an edge, a physical edge for them to fall over and be blocked by. Meanwhile, we can show the horizon beyond its geometric limitations. So no, boats aren't falling over any Earth curve edge. That was your claim. We've destroyed it. I'm not going to be explaining Jack by way of your 9th attempt at a burden of proof reversal fallacy. So don't ask me what the horizon is. I haven't made a claim about it. You claim boats fell over it. What a stupid idiot. Here's the Black Swan image for the audience. The horizon in the Earth curve geometry that would physically block them would be somewhere around here. That would be the geometric tangent point horizon marked with an X, labelled horizon, in the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve mathematics. And what do you know? Instead of being at 1.2 miles actually before the frame of this photo, it's beyond 10. Definitely not blocking them. And physical limitations to your view don't move with the weather. We've debunked Earth curve. So no, the horizon hasn't got boats and buildings going over it, falling over edges. What kind of nonsense is that? Thicko, thinking boats fall over edges? Horizon's not an edge. We've only got one horizon. And the horizon in your begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve geometry, was a physical limitation to boats and buildings until we debunked it with the Black Swan. It's on screen now for the audience.
Okay, so how...
No, okay, the end of your claim.
I have another claim.
Can I ask him a question?
3-0, 3-1, 3-2. presented lots of things that you've not refuted in terms of your claims that have failed and our claims that you haven't refuted. Do you want to just keep throwing out claims? It's just a scattergun approach at claims. Did you want to have another crack at one of the things we put to you? Maybe you could Google it.
Okay, someone had a question.
Yeah. How'd you get an elevation angle from a curved baseline? That would be a sphere Earth.
What can you repeat?
How do you get an elevation angle? That's something that you measure with a sextant, an angle. Like if you were measuring the height of a mountain, like Al-Biruni did. When you measure that height, you're measuring two straight lines, a flat baseline and the height of the mountain. So Al-Biruni, the guy who derived the R value, something you didn't know, because you haven't got the slightest idea about your own bloody religion of heliocentrism, Al-Biruni gave you an R value. But of course, before he gave you that value, he had to first assume Earth was flat to measure the height of the mountain with two straight lines. That's an elevation angle measurement. Al-Biruni, you aware of Al-Biruni? Clearly not. You didn't even know what R was when you wrote it down and assumed it without any proof or any measurements being given to you. But there we go. Al-Biruni had to assume Earth was flat. He took an elevation angle measurement of the height of the mountain. That proves Earth's flat, because it's the first thing you've got to do if you're measuring an angle to anything ever on Earth's surface. Euclidean three-space flat plane geometry, not pseudo four-space globe geometry. So flat Earth geometry is being used when you measure an angle to the sun, to a star, to the mountain top, anything really. How'd you do it with a curve?
I have a question. So
just ignore the question I've just asked you. How'd you do that with a curved surface?
I don't know.
Well, you can't. Got to have a flat Earth. Earth must be flat to do that. You haven't got a clue. I've refuted every single one of your claims here, and you don't know. When I prove Earth's flat, you don't know how to refute it.
You didn't answer my...
I didn't stutter like a bitch when I was presented with a flat Earth proof either. You did. You didn't refute it. You don't know. I've proved Earth's flat. Elevation angles, celestial navigation, Euclidean geometry are flat Earth proofs. You haven't refuted that.
Okay, so...
Okay, so your three fails are okay, are they? You haven't proved the globe. I've refuted everything you put down so far. You haven't refuted my proof of a flat Earth, though.
So you said the Earth must be flat.
That's correct.
To use sextant or whatever.
To measure an elevation angle, not whatever. Try and pin your ears back and actually pay attention to the man proving flat Earth with your failed attempts to prove a sphere intact. Yeah, elevation angle measurement.
The Earth must be a globe to see the crux at the exact same time.
We've covered this. Must be a globe is a begging the question fallacy. Rinse and repeat, dickhead. So, shot in the face and new game over, and now just reboot. We covered this. The antipodal positioning is your assumption. You just made that assumption clear by saying Earth must be a sphere. I must assume Earth's a sphere to make my example. That's begging the question, you stupid idiot.
You just did the same thing with sextants.
Oh, really? So you can measure an angle with a bent line. That's a curved surface.
You know, it's so slightly curved that it doesn't matter.
You think that a so slightly curved line gives you an angle, do you?
Yes.
Sorry, was that a yes? You think a slightly curved line meeting a straight line is an angle?
It's like...
You stuttering idiot. No, it is not. An angle is two straight lines.
Okay.
Okay, so given that an angle, that's something you measure with a sextant, is measuring straight lines, one of which is the baseline. That's straight and flat. Now, if it was curved, how would you get an angle? Tell me it's slightly curved again, you dumb idiot.
Yeah.
Tell me it's slightly curved to get an angle. Go on. That's my flat Earth proof that you're not refuting, by the way.
I don't know.
Yeah, we know you don't know. You don't know how to overcome my flat Earth proof, but you know how to fail miserably and throw out fallacies and interrupt a lot, don't you?
Overcome with my globe. You have nothing to say about...
Nothing to say other than you've begged the question, used an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy, used a burden of proof reversal fallacy, used a false dichotomy fallacy, used an argument from silence fallacy. What other fallacies have you used? Lots.
So,
I've
do you-
detailed every fallacy you've
do
used,
you-
and yet all you can do is chant that I haven't refuted you. Yeah, I have.
Do you even...
You stuttering bitch! I've refuted every word you've said.
Right.
I've refuted every word. Your hand wave to every single refutation of your claims and total lack of understanding of fallacy and chanting the same thing multiple times because you've ignored every single refutation doesn't mean I've ignored your claims or that I've failed to overcome them. I've overcome every single one of them. Then put out a flat earth claim and you don't know what to do with it. You have failed to overcome my claims, not the other way round.
Well, you see,
No, because you haven't...
hang on. You see, Nathan, he needs an app with those stars, but when you use a sextant with those stars, he's in trouble.
So
Exactly.
shout out to Joy. 1 second, sorry. Is it Joy Mel 24? Says this man doesn't belong here. This is the post-grad level, not the elementary level debate. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, people who don't know what they don't know suffer Dunning-Kruger and can't comprehend the debunking of their claim. And because they can't comprehend the debunking of their claim, they'll chant it out over and over and over, ignore the refutation because they don't understand it, and then have the gall, like this guy has, to say, you haven't refuted anything I've said. Yeah, I absolutely damn well have on multiple occasions with you chanting through every word I've said. Shout out to Fibrotes. One sec. Shout out to Fibrotes who says, should have checked your surroundings, fella. You're in the shark tank, and now you're bleeding. Yeah, I completely agree. Thanks for the super chat, Fibrotes.
Nathan, what I think is going on here is they're sending in guys like this to try and take up as much of the live show, which is the most amount of viewers live, right? Because it's the only hour of the day that it's live, right? That you're going to have to try and go back in time to 2015 and 16, and they're sending in people who, like him, who obviously don't know what they're talking about. And the whole point is to waste our time and stop progress. We're at a point where they can't get past.
Yep.
And the only thing they have now is to send us back in time and waste a whole hour. Your whole show, your whole live show was wasted. I'm not saying it's wasted, but it's like the progress has not been made because we're dealing with this guy who just doesn't know what you're talking about. He doesn't even know his own claim. He didn't even know certain details of his own claim.
Yeah, Brian, see, that's the whole thing. As soon as that was explained, as soon as I heard Nathan explain the formological fallacy and burden of proof and straw man and false dichotomy, I understood it. So why is this guy not understanding it? Makes me wonder.
Okay, so I came here to listen for the explanation for how it's possible to see DITRH at the exact same time from South Africa.
We've dealt with this a million times.
Wait,
Adam
don't
was
interrupt.
speaking. Sorry. Adam was speaking.
I have to make my
Adam
point
was
clear.
speaking,
So,
not you.
So
Adam
I didn't
was
get
speaking. You will
Hold
not
on,
get to
Brian.
make a point.
Hold on,
meaning that I won this challenge. You wasn't able.
Hello.
You wasn't able.
Hold on. Guys, can you let him have his delusional little moment?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. So none of you was able to explain our observation that of the crux being visible at
Argument from silence fallacy.
installed.
Argument from
when
silence
facing-
fallacy. We covered this. It's an argument from silence fallacy. You've just ignored the fallacy that you're now throwing out there. So, because I won't take his bait of a burden of proof reversal fallacy, I'm saying I don't have to explain it. You failed in your claim. He's now saying, therefore, nobody can explain it. Yeah, that's an argument from silence fallacy. It's already been detailed to you several times. Yet this is elementary level debate, my friend. You don't understand debate. You're too stupid. This is not the right level for you. I explain a burden of proof reversal fallacy, not because I think it's necessary to explain it. It's because I know you don't understand what that fallacy is. So I'm having to detail every time. Normally, with somebody who's competent in debate, I'd just say that's a burden of proof reversal fallacy, and everyone around me, like Neil's just explained, understands that because they know what the fallacy is. Because you don't, I'm having to detail what the fallacy is and how you've used it, only for you to say, you've not refuted anything I've said, because you've not explained it on your model when I challenged you with a burden of proof reversal. And when you didn't, because it's a fallacy in itself to make you explain my claim, I'll say no one can explain it with an argument from silence fallacy again. Just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Elementary level debate tactics, my friend. Crap. Useless. Yet you're going to now tell us that you think you've won Bitcoin and interrupt me. No, you haven't won anything. You've got arguments that are so old it's untrue. It's pathetic.
Was he trying to suggest the geometric horizon again?
What?
Said boats were going over an edge, Arwin. Said boats were going over the edge of a sphere. It's really embarrassing. This stupid notion that boats go over an edge. When the horizon moves with the weather, it's not a physical limitation for boats to go over. But yet these idiots on the globe side have got boats falling over their edge. The horizon is an edge. What kind of idiot thinks that the horizon's an edge for boats to fall over? You do, don't you, clown? Well, we've debunked that crap. Black swan. Earth is not a sphere. The radius value is not measurable at the horizon. It's not a physical block for things in the distance. We can demonstrate all of the above. You, on the other hand, just beg the question and reverse the burden. Absolute outrage.
Nathan,
that's my name.
When I claim,
dude, can I ask you something? Do you think does the horizon move, or is it always in the same place?
It depends on the altitude of the observers.
What 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, for example?
Right.
Okay, so
I know your maths of a globe and its sphere, edge, horizon better than you do. So that would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, then? Yes, Nathan. Yes, you know your sphere maths better than I do. Yeah, I know, because we're more competent in debate than you. We know your argument better than you do, don't we? Did you hear me throwing out 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet by any chance only moments ago? Maybe you didn't listen. Black swan. If the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every distance to horizon measurement, that would be your Earth curve obstruction you claimed boats fell over, would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And the imagery labelled Black Swan is beyond the geometric limitations of an Earth sphere radius 3959. Therefore, the horizon is an Earth curve, non-geometric, not blocking boats, not an edge to fall over, my friend.
Okay, so
you lost again.
I have my one last question. So my claim is...
Why? You're not here to question me. You're here to win Bitcoin by proving a sphere, not question me.
Okay.
Good. Glad you understand that you're definitely not here to question me about anything. You're here to prove a globe, to win Bitcoin, and you have failed miserably.
My claim is that nobody can explain how...
Any evidence of Earth curves?
Wait,
he's going to talk about these stars again when he assumes antipodal positioning, isn't he?
Africa and Australia.
So antipodal positioning. Antipodal. Sorry, in the Hemi what now? Rinse and repeat. Respawn because you've been shot in the face and teabagged. Hemi what now? In the Hemi what now? Hemi begging the question fallacy on steroids now. Hemi sphere, the thing you're trying to prove now. It's a begging the question fallacy with an affirming the consequent fallacy. I've gone over this. And over this, and over this with you. You are literally demented.
You cannot explain.
He doesn't know what antipodal means.
Now he's going to tell me that you can't explain it, so he's going to try again for I think it's the 11th time, to reverse the burden of proof on his failed example. And when I say I don't have to explain it, it's your claim, he'll tell me no one can explain it with an argument from silence fallacy. Again, won't you? You dumb idiot.
Okay, can you
stutter for me?
Can you prove me wrong that...
Yes, you used a burden of proof reversal fallacy, followed by... Oh, my God. I don't know why I'm doing this. I explained it to him, and then he just ignores it and asks me if I can refute his claim, which I've done multiples of times.
And I will lose this challenge.
You have lost this challenge.
No, I haven't.
Oh, really? You proved the Earth's a sphere with antipodal assumptions, did you? Hemi what now? Hemi what now? Yeah, that one you Bitcoin, did it? Hemi what now? Hemi, I'm going to win Bitcoin now.
I will win the Bitcoin.
I will win. I am delusional. Hemisphere isn't me assuming a sphere, it's me winning Bitcoin.
Okay, so
let's ignore that.
Because
every time he says okay, then it's the hand wave of the century. It's the okay, let's ignore the fact I lost, because I'm going to be saying it again in 10 minutes.
Okay, are you going to ignore me?
Sphere,
say again, John?
Hey, buddy, going back to the question of the horizon, right? Being that the horizon moves, right? Do you think that's physical? You think the horizon's a physical place?
It depends.
Because you did say before that you did say before that it was blocking boats in the distance, right?
That needs to be
that
physical.
Would be a physical place that you could measure to.
Yeah,
right?
That's his claim.
Is that what you think the horizon is?
Yeah, that's his claim.
Yes, if
it isn't. Black Swan, if the Earth was a sphere, radius 3959, then every distance to the horizon could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet, and every distance to the horizon in that measurement is beyond those limitations of the geometry of an Earth sphere, radius 3959. Therefore, the horizon's not Earth curve, it's not a physical blockage.
Okay, but...
Okay, another complete total hand wave. So not Earth curve, moving with the bloody weather, not a physical obstruction for boats to fall over then. Okay.
You wasn't able...
Okay. Just okay. Just okay, you've lost. Okay, I won't be winning any Bitcoin.
Okay.
We just showed you.
No, it was okay, but.
What?
I can take his claim because I know the claim way better than him, and I know the details of it way better than him, and I have a better chance of winning the Bitcoin than him, and I wouldn't win it. If I won, I wouldn't win it. So I don't know how he's going to win it. Sorry, John.
I would like to say that when he invoked the celestial sphere with hemispheres, he's using a flat plane. So I don't know where he thinks he's going to get with that.
He'll never understand that, John. That's way beyond him.
We're still live. I don't mind if you want to try and run it by him for the audience's benefit if no one else is. He'll probably interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Right. You're invoking the celestial sphere when you talk about seeing the Southern Cross from two different locations. You have a model you're invoking, whether you know it or not, and that model is based on flat plane measurements to the celestial objects. Okay? So when you think you're actually proving a sphere, you've proven that it's a flat plane.
What? That's impossible on flat plane.
And you said you don't know.
Sorry.
That would be a problem, right?
That would be a what? A declaration that he doesn't understand what's been said, followed by that's impossible on a flat plane. Explain how measuring angles using flat baselines, that's a flat Earth.
Nathan, is it
maybe interrupting the question that refutes your throwing out there that it's not possible on a flat plane. Maybe just interrupt me qualifying how you've just declared that's not possible. Yeah, so we're measuring angles off a flat baseline. Tell me how that's not possible when it's necessitated to measure an angle. Go ahead.
Is it okay if I leave now because I didn't get my answer?
Sorry, you weren't here to get answers. You were here to prove a sphere and win Bitcoin. You just keep lying about your motivation. You think you're going to tell my audience that you were here to get answers, like all the other people who failed at winning Bitcoin, I might add. Coincidentally, that is exactly what everybody's claimed. I'm just here for answers. Just got questions? No, that's a complete lie. You think you're going to win Bitcoin. That's the only reason you're here.
David told me I will get the answer here, and I didn't. I didn't get the answer.
Sorry, you were here to win Bitcoin. That's what you just keep lying. You were here to win 3 Bitcoin. The way you did that, or failed to do that, was by presenting a globe proof, which you didn't do.
Yes, that's
all. So maybe stutter and stammer around the fact you're now lying about your motivation. Just here to ask questions. Yet every other loser who failed to win Bitcoin also told us after they lost and didn't present globe proof that they were just here to learn about flat Earth. No, you're just a liar. You were here to win Bitcoin. You failed miserably.
The man that spoke to you a minute ago about the celestial sphere, John, refracted curvature, that man was a globe believer up until the start of 2020, and then he changed when the Black Swan argument came out. He is the type of educated globe believer I was speaking about that would come to us with the claim you're making back in 2015 and 16. And he is the exact type of globe believer that would have shut up about it when magnetic declination came into it, because he knows that it's not possible to make that claim and leave out magnetic declination out of the claim, because magnetic declination destroys the claim.
Good
so
point.
You're coming in here with an amateur claim and someone who used to be the professional version of what you're not, right, who has switched sides since 2020, has just showed you and told you why your claim would only prove a flat out, because you have to use elevation angles to get to the stars.
Perfect. With that, I'll say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you. Smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, smashed the PayPal link, joined as a member, and all that good stuff. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on a Premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
What a lovely day!